some stories hit different because this ain't about a knockout. This ain't about rankings. This ain't about a championship. This is about a man many of us have watched bleed inside that octagon for nearly 20 years. Anthony Lionheart Smith. Today is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Let's get into it. Let's get it. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Knuckle Game Podcast. I'm your host, LBanger. And today we've got to talk about one of the toughest conversations we've ever had on this channel. Former UFC title challenger, former UFC analyst, and one of the toughest men to ever lace up 4-ounce gloves, Anthony Lionheart Smith, has been arrested and is now facing multiple felony charges in Nebraska. Now, before we go any further, at Knuckle Game, we believe in facts, fairness, and due process. Anthony Smith has been charged, not convicted. These allegations will ultimately be decided in a court of law. And like anyone else, he is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. With that said, these allegations are serious. Let's break it down. Now, the breaking news is, according to authorities in Nebraska, Anthony Smith was arrested following an alleged domestic incident. He is currently facing 3 felony charges: attempted first-degree domestic assault, terroristic threats, and first-degree false imprisonment. He appeared before a judge, posted a $500,000 bond, and was released under conditions that include no contact with his wife. His next court appearance is scheduled for August 17th. Prosecutors allege that during the incident, Smith threatened his wife, forced her into a vehicle, and later attempted multiple times to strike her with that vehicle after she got out. Those are allegations presented by the prosecutor, and the legal process is ongoing. Again, these are allegations, not findings of guilt. So who is Anthony Smith? That's what makes this story so difficult, because Anthony Smith wasn't just another fighter. This dude fought anybody, any weight class, any promotion, anybody with a pulse. Over nearly 2 decades, he built a reputation as one of the toughest men in mixed martial arts. Lionheart wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the prettiest striker. But what he had was heart. That's why they called him Lionheart. He fought John Jones for the UFC light heavyweight championship. He fought Alexander Gustafsson, Glover Teixeira, Rashad Evans, Mauricio Shogun Rua, Volkan Ozdemir, Ryan Spann. The list goes on. Whether he won or lost, you knew Anthony Smith was walking into a war. Then came chapter 2 of his career. Anthony became one of the most respected analysts in MMA. Fans appreciated that he actually watched film. He wasn't just yelling out hot takes. He broke down techniques. He explained the game. He gave younger fighters their flowers. He brought experience from inside the cage into the broadcast booth. You'd hear fighters talk about Anthony with respect because they knew this wasn't a keyboard warrior. This was a man who had literally risked his life for the sport. He fought through broken bones, broken hands, broken face, you name it. And that's why this story punches so hard. Because nobody wants to see one of the sport's respected veterans in this position. Nobody. Not the fans, not the UFC, not the fighters, not his family. Everybody loses when stories like this happen. So what's the bigger conversation? A bigger conversation would be, combat sports are unique. These athletes spend decades living in violence, training violence, managing pain, fighting through injuries. The physical toll is obvious, but the emotional toll sometimes isn't. Now, let me be crystal clear. None of that excuses criminal behavior if crimes were committed. It doesn't. But it should remind us that mental health, stress, substance abuse, trauma, family struggles, those conversations matter too. So what happens next? Now the legal process begins. Evidence will be presented, witnesses will testify, and Anthony Smith will have an opportunity to defend himself. The justice system, not social media, is where guilt or innocence is determined. That's exactly how it should be. This channel has and will always stand for one thing: accountability. If someone commits a crime, there should be consequences. If someone is falsely accused, they deserve justice too. That's why we don't rush to convict people on headlines. We wait for the facts. We let the courts do their job, because that's justice. Anthony Smith gave this sport everything he had: years of sacrifice, years of blood, years of unforgettable fights. Today, he's facing the biggest battle of his life, not inside the octagon, but inside a courtroom. Whatever the outcome, we hope the truth comes to light. If crimes were committed, justice should be served. If the allegations are not proven, that should be recognized as well. And above everything else, we hope healing comes from everyone affected. Because behind every headline are real people, real families, real lives. Anthony Smith has earned respect as one of the toughest competitors this sport has ever seen. We also believe respect for the legal process and for anyone affected by these allegations must come first. We're hoping for truth, we're hoping for justice, and we're hoping that regardless of the outcome, Anthony Smith finds the support to become an even better man than he was a fighter. I'm LBanger, and this is Knuckle Game Podcast.